Well, guys, the obvious is coming out thick and fast now, like the government and media just wasn't smart enough to know the consequences of their actions, but we all was. Of course, that's complete nonsense because they knew full well the damage that lockdowns would do, and they did 'em anyway. They didn't give a shit about the damage that would be done to any of our lives. I mean, how many people from the start of all this said that lockdowns are going to cost a lot of lives, yet the government didn't just go for one, they went for multiple and for months at a time with every one. I know myself and many of you have been shouting about the damage caused by lockdowns since early 2020 while the media has been happily promoting them, and I would actually say begging for their return every time they're lifted. Now, though, it seems some prestigious universities have completed studies proving what we already knew from bloody day dot. Lockdowns cost lives, and in fact cost more lives than they could ever save, I would say. Of course, all of this makes a complete liar out of Boris Johnson when he went on TV and said this utter load of tripe that we've got here.
But it is very, very important for everybody to understand that the reduction in these numbers, in hospitalisations and in deaths and in infections, has not been achieved by the vaccination programme. People don't, I think, appreciate that it's the lockdown that has been overwhelmingly important in delivering this improvement in the pandemic and in the figures that we're seeing. And so, yes, of course, the vaccination programme has helped, but the bulk of the work in reducing the disease has been done by the lockdown.
Now, obviously, these unis didn't need to waste all that time and money doing studies on it or anything like that. The effects of destroying people's livelihoods and mental health are obvious to anyone living in the real bloody world. At the end of the day, it was always going to be a shit show if you stop people earning money, lock them in their homes and prevent them seeing their family. It was clearly deranged mental gymnastics from the start that this would help anything, but essentially the enforced lockdowns put in place have cost lives for almost zero benefit based on these studies. Imagine our bloody shock there. In fact, the study has it at about 100 people saved by forced lockdowns over people deciding the risks for themselves and taking their own actions, which of course they would have done, especially given the levels of fear that were pumped out literally 24 hours a day. Now, if you ask me, given the damage that's done, there's been no benefit to any of this, and heads should literally roll throughout government considering the policies that we now know have cost lives. Let's be honest, we knew it anyway, but now we've literally got all the proof. I say sod Partygate and all of that. Lockdowns killing people you claim to be saving should see you arrested, not just bloody sacked or kicked out of government. In fact, that should be true for all involved, not just Boris Johnson, health ministers, civil servants, sage, lockdown-loving media spunk trumpets, the lot.
The only verdict is vengeance.